Hey y'all, it's Amanda Evans-Marsh, your host of Coffee Chats with Sold by Amanda. I am so glad you're here, and we are talking all things real estate, community, and how you can find home wherever you are. This week, we've got new content for you, and I can't wait for you to check it out. Let's dive in. Hey Virginia, I'm so excited that you're here today. How are you?
Hey Amanda, thanks so much for having me. I'm good. I'm excited to chat.
Yes, I love it. Well, tell my friends a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I'm Virginia Heleno. I own VM Interiors, which is an interior design studio. For now, it's just me, but we are still kind of fairly new to this area. My husband and I moved here from New Jersey. We're born and raised in Jersey. We're living up in Boston for about 4 years before moving here 3 years ago.
Wow.
And I left my corporate job to pursue design full time in November. So I live in the Lake Norman area, serve Lake Norman and Charlotte, mainly focusing on busy professionals and families and helping them create kind of the house of their dreams and making it really feel like a sanctuary for them.
I love that. And it's so important. Well, actually, how we connected is you have this really cool resource that you partner with real estate agents on, and it is taking dated spaces and showcasing that potential and showing buyers what they can't see. So often sellers don't have the capacity or ability or, even proximity to the space to be able to go in and make updates. So the house just hits the market. And so tell me a little bit about your unique service where you go in and just shine this beautiful light.
Yeah, so I came up with the idea of creating this series online called On the Market Mondays. And so before obviously filming, go in and do some research on homes that have been sitting on the market for a little while. So it's clear that they're kind of struggling on selling the home because most often they're dated and they need some updating. And like you mentioned, it is hard to kind of have that vision. Especially I've found the houses that I've done so far, they've been sitting for so long that they're no longer even staged. So I imagine the people that are coming to tour them are really struggling to see the potential of the home. So I wanted to find a way that I could add value to realtors, and it also doubles as kind of like marketing for me where I can show my skills. So my husband, who plays many roles in my business, I guess, he comes in and records me, and we make these videos where I walk through the home and I'll explain some of the changes that I would suggest for if the buyers were my clients. And then I'll come home and I'll create the 3D rendering for it. So that's included in the video, which I think is really helpful. So you can see kind of like a before and after. So it definitely shows the potential for value in the home. And it can also show that sometimes you don't need as big of renovations as you think. So some spaces, I'm only really showing styling of furniture or even scaling of furniture. I've walked into a lot of rooms where when I go in, it's empty, but I know on the listing photos, they'll have a dining table that's seats maybe only 4 people, but the space has the capacity for 6 to 8 people dining table. And so when you're looking at the pictures online, it makes the room actually feel a lot smaller. Or other changes where there are built-ins that don't go all the way up to the ceiling. I'll expand on those in the renderings just to make the space look a lot better and give people good visual of what potential the houses have, because I feel that all of them really do. One of the properties I recently did has been sitting for a little while. It's in Lake Norman, and I was hearing that it could potentially be like a complete tear down. And in my mind, I'm like, no, you don't have to do all that. Like, you can just knock down 1 or 2 walls and extend the kitchen, and you don't have to start from zero. So yeah.
I remember seeing one of your videos on social where you were leveling the floors.
Mm-hmm.
And creating that space that allowed the eye to run all the way to the back set of windows. And I thought how incredible it was that you just modernized the home with that one change. And where people might like count the house out because they're like, I don't really like the sunken space or the alternate flooring heights. How you can really give life back to space, like you said, that a lot of people would look at and be like, it's just too much, it's a tear down. So I really love that. And as someone who also appreciates like existing spaces, there's nothing that makes me more sad than to see something that still has potential to become waste. Thanks for listening today, friends. I'm so glad you're here. If you'd like to keep updated with all of the new content and information, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to get the next notification for next week's drop.